What's up guys, R.I.P here. In this video we're going to be talking about, say, airdrop. As a disclaimer, everything I say in this video is completely subjective. All numbers that we're going to go through are not official. These are just pulled from different sources. And obviously I'm not fact checking every source. So just take everything with a grain of salt. And it's completely up to you whether or not you want to believe these numbers or not. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, don't hesitate to put all of your questions and comments down below. And we're gonna begin. So first of all, how much did I get? First, I got 69 say tokens in reward tabs, and then as a bonus from the common chest, I also got 21 tokens. So all in all, about 90 tokens. So these are rewards for incentivized testnet, for ambassador program, basically everything you're eligible from the testnet is going to be in this tab. The airdrop tab, this is cross-chain, the so-called cross-chain airdrop, where initially 500,000 wallets were eligible to get something. I've seen reports that it's around $10 worth of tokens, but again, I cannot confirm that. Recently, they posted a tweet that they increasing the number of eligible wallets from 500k to 1.5 mil. I went to recheck my wallet, still not eligible. Apparently doing like 50 transactions a day on EVM chains, not good enough. My wild guess, however, is that eligible wallets are the wallets who has significant sums of money that can actually bridge those to say. So I don't have any concrete numbers here, but for the rewards we can speculate based on the available data. So first of all, people who partially participated in the incentivized testnet, meaning they did not complete all of the blocked missions, including the human verification missions, they got couple tokens for gas. This I assume based on the number of blocked missions you've completed, but people reporting somewhere from like half a say to maybe 3 say. So these are just negligible amount, we can completely negate that. Now the most tokens got colonels, this is the highest rank in the ambassador program. I've seen a couple reports with around 3.5k tokens. So 3.5k, and there is only 88 colonels. So we can put that as roughly 300k tokens. Now for major situations, a bit weird because I saw some people stating that they got around 1,000 tokens, and then other majors saying they didn't get any allocation, maybe because the account was merged, they were multi-accounters, I don't know. But for the ease of calculation, we can assume that there were 1,000 tokens given to each major. I don't know the exact number of majors. I think somewhere around 500. Again, these are very loose numbers, okay, but 500k for majors. Then for captains, I don't have any concrete information. And then for officers, it's even more mixing because basically I'm an officer, I got 69 say. I also saw other people stating that they got the same amount and they were not officers, they were crew. So it's kind of hard to tell whether or not it's for the officers or for all people who completed blocked missions and at least have level 7 in the Discord. Based on report I've seen, the total amount of crew plus the officers is around 40k. That being said though, there is way less people who actually added their R.I.P wallet onto blocked missions. Even not all of the officers did that, and so we don't know how that went, but we can speculate on this thing and say that probably the absolute maximum amount of people who got this 70 say is probably like 50k people, and most likely this number actually a lot smaller, but let's just say it's 50k. So it's 50k, 70 say, right? 3.5 mil. Again, for captains I don't know, but let's just say that it's around 1 mil. So we can sort of speculate that in total this number is gonna equal to 5 mil. And again, this is incentives for the community, not cross-chain airdrops, because for the cross-chain, I don't know. Let's just add all of the small portions, and let's say we didn't account for something here, let's just call it 10 mil. Let's just say that 10 million tokens were distributed as a testnet rewards for all the community base. Now the total supply of tokens is 10 bill, that means they distributed 0.1%. 0.1%. when 3% were allocated for Binance Launch Pool, how much got distributed via cross-chain airdrops into what wallets, also unknown. 0.1% to your whole community, that's like zero, and nobody's happy. I haven't seen a single person who's happy, but that's not the point here. The point of the video is that, in my subjective view, they completely killed the chain, and I'll explain why. In this airdrop and in the mostly last month, how things were handled by the team is complete lack of transparency. And this lack of transparency now, after the airdrop especially, it leads to zero trust. Like, I personally cannot trust this team, not based on the fact that they dropped like crumbles. It doesn't matter. I actually think that in the grand scheme of things, for the airdrop space, this is positive, but we're gonna come back to that later. But again, zero transparency. No clear numbers in announcements, no clear dates, no clear criteria. Delays where they don't really explain what's going on, just saying, yeah guys, just wait, trust in team, trust in process, like it's all gonna be worth it at the end, 100,000%, right Philip? Yeah, at least I hope you got your bag. And promising people stuff and keeping them in the dark, and after all of these promises, like, I'm not making stuff up. You can go on the recent spaces for the last month or so, and you can listen to what team said. It's all just promises without no concrete information. They just didn't give the big middle finger to the community. And now what's gonna happen, in my, again, subjective opinion, 90% of the community is gonna go. The ecosystem will be hurt 100%. I think it all comes down to they're gonna try to bring as much TVL as possible, showing that, ooh, we got so many projects building on, say, look at the size of our community. Well, your community is gonna go now. And I also want to address one important point here about how some people lash out to other people for only being in the space for the incentives. Because I see it over and over again, where there is a group of people where they accuse other people of being in the space for incentives. And there's just one point here. Because if there are incentives, if you create the system where there are rules, where you saying over and over this is incentivized, where you dangle airdrop carrot or other incentives carrot in front of people, then people come, and then you start accusing these people that you only come for the airdrop. Nobody has this right to accuse them, whether or not you're part of group 1 or group 2 who actually believe in the project, who like the project. I'm personally somewhere in between because I take interest in the project, but I also like the part with the incentives, obviously, because when you're spending so much time on projects, it's nice to have a little bit of kickback. And going back to the ecosystem, I also think some people underestimate the negative effect it's gonna have on the ecosystem projects. I sincerely wish all genuine projects to succeed, even in say ecosystem, but now it's gonna be very hard to do, because also I think people underestimate how much money the community can actually keep in the ecosystem. Everybody, especially again, group number 1, who think that 90% of people are only here for incentives, and after they get these incentives, they're gonna go and sell it all on exchanges, and there's gonna be no money in the ecosystem, and all of the other nonsense I'm seeing in social media. Guys, when people get rewarded, they don't just go and sell all of their bags. Some of that money, and a decent chunk of that money, is gonna remain in the ecosystem. If they feel good about the ecosystem, about the projects, if they feel rewarded for participation, they will participate in the projects within this ecosystem. They will bring some of their bag to buy the NFTs, to provide liquidity, to do swaps, to do trades. And what do you think they're gonna do now? Like, you think you're gonna bring people from different chains with a little bit of incentives and bring their money with them from EVM chains, from Solana, to do something that say supposed to be the best at, it's a lot harder to acquire new people than keep the old people. And now again, the majority of old people, old community members now gonna leave. For me, the situation is clear. It only goes one way. For some reason, they decided to take this route, and this route is wrong. And I wanna stress my point once again here. I believe that say team or foundation, whoever made the decisions, effectively killed the chain because there is zero trust now. And it's not because of the airdrop amount, but because you guys cannot communicate, have to put in all these tweets that community is key and trust the process and patience is key and all of the other stuff that nobody's gonna believe now. Because again, trust is gone. Now I'm gonna take a moment of silence for the Say chain. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment down below what you think about the Say airdrop, about the future of the Say chain. Please don't lash out to other people who do not support your point of view on this stuff. We all have the right to have our own opinion and express it. Okay, now my 2 cents on the global picture and why I think what happens is actually positive for the airdrop space as a whole. Obviously, after the Arbitrum and the SUI, the airdrop space got overheated. Recently, the Arkham too, but Arkham is kind of like the unicorn. People got ridiculous sums of money because basically nobody knew about it. Plus the token itself performed well. But again, this is the unicorn and this is the dApp drop, not the chain drop. And if you look at Say, obviously Say was in tier 2 category in terms of like airdrops, and the next tier 1 that majority of people are anticipating obviously Layer 0. So now we have tier 2 projects in the form of Say given close to 0 in the airdrop. And now, despite the fact that obviously I would like to have some money from the Layer 0 airdrop, especially considering that I'm not so much hunting for the airdrop as just using that on my day-to-day. I use a lot of cross-chain that utilize Layer 0 technologies. Despite that, in my heart, I hope that they either don't drop at all or do a very small airdrop, because the amount of people who got into airdrop space, and especially the amount of Sybils, just skyrocketed starting from March. We need to cool this off. Obviously, even if Layer 0 doesn't drop, there's still gonna be a lot of hunting for ZK Sync and Starknet, who probably gonna drop next. At least it's anticipated somewhere around like Q1 of 2024. Obviously, again, that's all speculations. We don't know for sure. And also going back to Say, somewhere in parallel universe, where let's say dropped 1k for entry-level ambassadors and let's say 500 to everybody who participated in blocked missions on incentivized testnet, what will happen there with all L1 testnets? Like Venom participation will go parabolic, also alongside other less known L1s. So again, for the whole airdrop space, I believe this is positive. That's my 2 cents. See ya.